Sport and exercise science is one of the most common degrees to undertake within the UK, and many people, including myself, miss out on key considerations that are important to think about when applying for the course, which can dramatically affect our future and our career. When thinking about choosing sport and exercise science, I was a bit clueless, if I'm going to be honest. There was a lot of things that I didn't really know looking back, and for those people that might be equally confused, here is some friendly advice so you can know whether sports science is a friendly fit for you or not. One of the first things to think about with the course is all the different topics within sports science. Sport and exercise science is very general. You've got physiology, biomechanics, psychology, sports nutrition, strength and conditioning, etc. Sports science can also lean more towards the more clinical sectors of the industry. So for example, a lot of modules relate to physiotherapy, occupational therapy. A good example from someone that I used to know from my course, she is now doing cardiovascular rehabilitation and health. Taking this into account is really important because if there's one area out of all the subjects you definitely know you want to do, you can usually do bachelor's degrees to specialise within that area. However, if a lot of those subjects interest you and you're not really sure what to pick, then that is where sport and exercise science is a better fit for you. For those of you that are thinking about sports science, I know getting employed might seem ages away because it's 3 or 4 years away, but it's really important to take into account lots of different factors for what work will be like after you graduate. This is stuff like career prospects, pay, freedom of hours, how many hours you'll be working, what kind of qualifications you can use to progress yourself. However, if you are set on doing sport and exercise science, there is 2 main things that I will say you need to know. And what I mean by that is there are biomechanics, psychology, and physiology. There's also sports nutrition, nutrition in general, and strength and conditioning, but they're more subtopics. The first 3 topics I mentioned are the main core of what you'll be doing on your degree. Out of these lists between biomechanics, psychology, and physiology, think about what area are you the weakest in. For me, it was biomechanics, and I really wish I looked into this before I started my degree. It would have saved me a lot of time. Another important thing to mention is that if you're interested in multiple subjects, but you're interested in more the sport or the clinical side, then universities will usually cater for that. For example, if you're interested in more the sport side and you want to do sports nutrition or you want to be a strength and conditioning coach, then a university like Loughborough would be really good for that. So just in general, do your research about how the university is orientated. So moving on, I want to give more general advice about science-related degrees. First thing is, this sounds really stupid, but be more adept and comfortable with science in general, specifically the scientific method. So one of the ways you can do this is going on a website like Google Scholar. You can get free studies from there and just become comfortable with reading scientific journal articles, especially ones in areas you're more interested in, because you'll be more motivated to read those. Especially pay close attention to the results and the methods section. This might seem like gobbledygook and it might be really boring, but this is so important to become familiar with. I can't stress this enough. If you don't become familiar with these topics, you don't have to before your degree, but if you do, you'll be much more comfortable with gaining those higher marks from having a more critical area of writing. For example, if a study has done a specific method design and you don't know where to critique the study, then that is potentially you losing out marks on almost every single assignment you're going to be doing. So in summary, become more comfortable with reading studies in general, especially the method design and the statistical analysis. If you become more comfortable with these areas, it will help a lot in your degree. One more general thing to mention is that remember to look at the student to staff ratio if they show that data online, because if there's like 10 students and hundreds of staff, you're not really going to get a lot of one-on-one support. If you're like me and you like to have tutorials and feedback and all this good stuff, then it's important to have a good staff to student ratio so you can get that one-on-one support. One of the last things I want to mention, and this is really important, is that it's okay to make mistakes. Even if you follow all of my advice and you still choose a degree that isn't what you want to do in the future or related to your career, then that's fine. Most people have the opportunity to change what they want to do later in life. And when I chose sports science when I was 16, 17 years old, how am I meant to know at 16, 17 what I want to do at 21 years old or older for my career? To me, that sounds a bit silly, because for other people, including myself, my self-identity, my purpose in life, just everything has changed so much since I was doing A-levels at sixth form. It is a huge leg up in life if you have a career that you enjoy, you can find purpose with. So if you want to change later in life, that is absolutely fine. With this video, the aim is just to make you more aware of different things to take into consideration if you are thinking about doing sport and exercise science. Hopefully, after hearing all of that, you feel more comfortable about whether you want to do sport and exercise science or not, and I hope you choose a degree that gives you purpose and that you really enjoy and that you're passionate about. If you're interested about why I switched from strength and conditioning to physiotherapy, then I've done a video on that, which I'll link on the top. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you there. Bye bye.